everyone, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to you all to this beautiful location of Roughletts. To all of your welcome friends and family who have come here to share in this very happy occasion, the marriage of Shona White and Adrian Boylan. And we are delighted that so many of you, the people in Shona and Adrian's lives who are most dear and important to them, are able to join us here today. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lorna Hanlon, and I'm one of the very fortunate number of celebrants of the Humanist Society Scotland who is legally authorised to solemnise marriage anywhere in this beautiful country of ours. And I'm glad to say that since 2005, Scotland is one of only 8 countries in the world where legal humanist marriage is built into the fabric of our governmental and judicial institutions. And it's always a joy to be part of such a meaningful and happy occasion. And very much so today, as we are celebrating the love which Shona and Adrian share and are making their commitment to. And I am delighted to be part of this special day. We also have some individuals here today who are fulfilling very important roles. Our beautiful bridesmaids, Ali and Silvana, and her very smart best man, Nikolai. So a big thank you to all of you for your important contribution to today's celebrations. I think a wee round of applause for them. We would also like to extend our sincerest congratulations to Adrian's granddad, Gunter Felt. Happy birthday for tomorrow, alles Gute und herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag morgen, Herr Felt. This is a humanist wedding ceremony, as I have mentioned, and Shona and Adrian made this choice as they appreciate the humanist ethics and values, respect for others and for the world. They wanted a ceremony that reflected this, and also to celebrate their marriage in their own way, in a manner that is uniquely special and personal to them, and who they are as individuals and as a couple. They both believe this ceremony is about celebrating their love for and promise to one another, and our open-minded and non-judgmental approach, the celebration of life, and welcoming everyone, regardless of faith or creed, is very much what they wanted for their ceremony. The humanist approach to life, trying to leave the world a better place than when we entered it, also very much appealed to them when they started to think about how they wanted to celebrate this very important day. Humanism is simply an ancient set of principles and a way of life shared by millions of people around the world. It's a philosophy of life and ethics based on a concern for humanity and the natural world, affirming that every civilization needs a moral code based on kindness, care, and consideration for others if we're to live together in harmony. So it's this approach to life and relationships that Shona and Adrian have chosen to make the foundation of their marriage. I hope, therefore, that whatever your own personal beliefs, you'll all feel happy and comfortable about this occasion, that you'll feel welcomed regardless of your faith or creed, and that you'll find the ceremony to be dignified, sincere and meaningful, as well as a relaxed and enjoyable day, of course. Do please feel free to honour any religious beliefs quietly throughout our ceremony today, should you wish to do so. Shona and Adrian have chosen much of the structure of this ceremony and selected many of the elements and wording themselves. And we hope that you will hear and feel them in all that is said and presented during the ceremony. This is a day about all the things which unite us, the most important of these being joining and celebrating the love which Shona and Adrian share and are making their commitment to today. No matter where you have travelled from, near or far, your presence today is greatly appreciated. And amongst us, united in our celebration are guests who have travelled from some distance. Nikolai from New Zealand, thanks so much for your long journey. Also Jared and Alex, and Kendra and Jeremy. Where did I get that from? Give it Germany too much. Jeremy have joined us from the USA. Thanks so much for your presence here today. Jared and Alex, Kendra and Jeremy. And I'd now like to... Jeremy. Thank you for your presence here today. I'd now like to invite Kendra to come and read a poem especially chosen for today. Kendra, thank you.
The poem is Oh, Tell Me the Truth About Love by W.H. Auden. Some say love's a little boy, and some say it's bird. Some say it makes the world go round, some say that's absurd. And when I asked the man next door, who looked as if he knew, his wife got very cross indeed, and said it wouldn't do. Does it look like a pair of pajamas, or the hand in a temperance hotel? Does its odor remind one of llamas, or has it a comforting smell? Is it prickly to touch as a head is, or soft as an elder down fluff? Is it a sharp or quite smooth at the edges? Oh, tell me the truth about love. Our history books refer to it in cryptic little notes. It's quite a common topic on the transatlantic boats. I found the subject mentioned in accounts of suicides, and even seen it scribbled on the backs of railway guides. Does it howl like a hungry Alsatian, or boom like a military band? Could one give a first-rate imitation on a saw or a Steinway grand? Is it sitting at parties a riot? Does it only like classical stuff? Will it stop when one wants to be quiet? Oh, tell me the truth about love. I looked inside the summer house. It wasn't even there. I tried the Thames at Maidenhead and Brighton's bracing air. I don't know what the blackbird sang or what the tulip said, but it wasn't in the chicken run or underneath the bed. Can it pull extraordinary faces? Is it usually sick on a swing? Does it spend all its time at the races or fiddling with a piece of string? Has it views of its own about money? Does it think patriotism enough? Are its stories vulgar but funny? Oh, tell me the truth about love. When it comes, will it come without warning? Just as I'm picking my nose. Will it knock on my door in the morning or tread in the bus on my toes? Will it come like a change in the weather? Will its greeting be courteous or rough? Will it alter my life altogether? Oh, tell me the truth about love.
Thank you very much, Kendra. Beautifully read. Thank you. Kendra spoke there of love possibly altering life altogether. So when did Shona and Adrian's lives begin to alter on their path to true love? Many of you will know that Shona and Adrian first met when studying for a TEFL qualification in September of 2009. Both of them planned to go overseas to teach. Adrian to China or Japan, Shona to Spain or South America. However, having met, they realised that they didn't want to leave each other, and so they started looking at options that would let them travel together. They accepted positions at a school in South Korea and set off in May 2010. One of the first milestones in their relationship was when Shona was travelling in Europe immediately after completing the TEFL course, and Adrian flew out to spend 3 days in Vienna with her. Obviously, going to Korea together having only known each other 8 months, was a big step, and the experience was a mixed one. While they had some great experiences and made good friends, the job and the accommodation were challenging. I'm sure many of you know the stories of them. Yes. I heard that they made the difficult decision to come home early, which meant that they didn't have the opportunities to travel in Asia that they had hoped for, but they told me that the whole experience brought them closer together. In July 2011, they went on a cruise with Adrian's parents, Lorraine and Brian, Adrian's sister Suzanne, and her now husband Ross. Adrian's granddad Günther and Uncle Werner also joined them. It was a fantastic holiday, and was the moment that, for Shona, cemented her feelings of being a part of the family. They adopted 2 cats from a shelter in February 2013 and nursed them through ill health, which was hard work and upsetting, and they worried about losing them. But again, it was a bonding experience, and for them as a couple and their 2 cats, Maya and Ivy, who are beautiful, healthy and loving. In September 2013, they bought their first flat together and spent 7 months refurbishing it to turn it into a beautiful home. Last year was the first time either of them had hosted a Christmas dinner. Shona's parents spent Christmas with them in their flat and brought some confit duck legs that they had bought in the Dordogne, which I'm told were absolutely sublime and made for a very happy Christmas. They have nephews through both Adrian's sister Suzanne and Shona's brother Dougie, and their partners, Sam Gibson and Lucas White, have given them lots of pleasure and will both be making an appearance for photos later on. I heard about the day of the proposal, when Adrian got down on one knee in Central Park in New York, having spent the last 3 months saying he was spending his bonus on a motorbike. Shona was therefore very surprised, but obviously delighted, and immediately said yes. They then received a round of applause from others who were round about in the park. Since they were in New York, there was no time to celebrate, so they spent the afternoon in the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art, soaking up some culture. They then returned to Jared and Alex's apartment, and a bottle of champagne was produced from their supply to kick off a wee celebration. When I asked Shona and Adrian what it will mean to them to be married, they told me that they already live together, so on a practical level, there won't be a huge change. However, getting married will mean cementing their already strong bond. They said that their relationship works so well because they're really in tune with each other and share a sense of humour and views on life. They work to common goals and they communicate very well. They talk about everything and they both compromise. They complement each other and have synergy. They both bring different strengths to the relationship. In the future, they told me that their hopes are to have children at some point, more travel, a long, healthy, happy and fulfilled life, and eventually a vineyard in Europe to retire to. Once they decide between France, Adrian, and Spain, Shona. When I met with Shona and Adrian, I asked them to send me the answers to some questions and to both return the answers to me without telling each other what they had written. It's therefore just as much a surprise to them as it will be to you as we listen to some of the answers they sent. When asked what she thought when she first saw Adrian and when she realised she was in love, Shona answered that he was really attractive and I wanted to know what he was like and what his story was. I think I became aware I was in love when we were talking about going travelling and teaching abroad after I came back from my trip round Europe. We both wanted to go to different places and I realised how much I didn't want that to happen. And in answer to that same question, Adrian wrote, "Wow, who is that?" I really need to speak to her. It was during our time in South Korea, through the adversity and having terrible accommodation and an awful manager, seeing Shona unhappy, I came to realise just how much I loved her and how much I wanted to make her happy. But even before that, it was in the first month of meeting Shona, I knew I wanted to be with her and spend my time with her. I remember when I first came to her flat for dinner, she wanted to show me her CDs and her Wimbledon souvenirs. There was just something slightly geeky. Slightly geeky about it, slightly me, and I knew we were two peas in a pod. When asked about what he has now that he didn't have before, Adrian went on to reply, "A life together that's greater than the sum of its parts, with a home and cats." Just absolute acceptance of who I am, as well as with my flaws. I have someone I can be myself with. It's something more valuable than anything in the world. In answer to the question, what do you miss most when you're apart? Shona replied, sharing all my thoughts with him and observations on everything that goes on. As an introvert, I don't usually share everything with people and can tend to be quite reserved. And if I do share observations, it's not the same with other people. I like hearing Adrian's take on things. When asked to describe anything which had changed in him and in his life experience since he met Shona, Adrian wrote, "I think I'm more caring, calm, and conscientious. Even though I still get things wrong, I'm much more aware of that and trying to make things right or better. I felt very much more settled in my life, which, without Shona, I always found very hard to do. Shona has made me a much better person." Shona wrote about a funny and touching experience which put their relationship in a new light. "I had a cat called Dina who lived with my parents and who died about a year after Adrian and I got together while we were in Korea. She lived at my parents' house. One night when Adrian was visiting, she jumped on the bed and padded about looking for a comfy spot and settled on Adrian's bum. I only knew about it because Adrian whispered to me that's where she was. We still talk about it occasionally. He loved that he shared that with her, as he knew how important she was to me, having been my 11th birthday present. We were 26 by this time. By the time I got the email saying she had died when we were in Korea, he really understood how devastated I was." When asked, what is it that you want to promise? What are the aspirations for your relationship? Shona went on to write, "I want to promise him that I will always have his back. I'll always have his best interests at heart, and I will always look out for him. The aspirations are that we always support each other and continue to love each other as we grow older." And Adrian wrote, "I want to promise that I will always be honest, respectful, and promise to make Shona happy. My hopes are that our relationship will always be strong, honest, and will have trust as we have now. I hope that we can always talk to one another as we can now, and that after every argument we can laugh about it after and use it as we currently do to make our bond stronger. I hope that we will always love each other in spite of our differences and love each other for those differences as well." When asked about what inspires him about Shona and what he respects about her, Adrian said, "Shona's calm nature and her ability not to be swayed by emotions, such as situations with salespersons. She can quite easily put down any tactic they use with one sentence or a line. She also knows every single country and capital in the world, and her knowledge surpasses most of mine. Not only knowledgeable, she's very intelligent. I admire her so much. It makes me want to learn and better myself. I respect that she's so likable and never takes sides. She's very reliable, and she's not only a best friend to me, but also such a good friend to others. I admire that she stands up for what she believes in. And Shona said, in answer to the same questions, his perfectionism. Sometimes when I think that something will do, Adrian persists until it's perfect. He is an idealist and believes that things can be perfect, whereas I'm far more realistic. I respect his loyalty. He sticks by people and things and is honest and true to them. And Adrian said that he is looking forward to just settling down and building more of a life, having kids and knowing that we are each other's. I'm looking forward to wearing my wedding ring, being proud that I've married the perfect person for me and that she said yes to me. And finally, I asked Shona and Adrian to write down 3 things that they love about each other, again, without sharing their answers with each other. It's my sincere honour to present these answers to you now. Shona wrote, I love how Adrian gets so passionate about things, from projects around the house, including refurbishing the whole flat, to places like the Lake District, to hobbies like learning French and swimming, to passing occurrences that we chat about. He's always really enthusiastic and committed and gets really excited. It makes me happy to see him get so wrapped up in something because I know it makes him happy. And while some of the things might not seem like much to other people, it's a sign of someone who is fully involved in their own life. I love how much Adrian loves animals. As an animal lover myself, it's really important to me that my life partner shares that love for all creatures, great and small, except cockroaches. Obviously, we both absolutely adore our cats, Maya and Ivy, but we love pointing out cute dogs to each other, looking at the wildlife when we travel, and cooperating in rescuing bugs, spiders, etc. from the flat when necessary. I love how Adrian always has to know how things work. He's always examining things and taking things apart to look at their mechanisms. If he can't tell how they work just by looking at them, he's also trying to learn, always trying to learn and expand his knowledge of everything. It's important to me that he's clever, just because. But I like that he's always questioning the world instead of simply accepting things. I think it's important to never stop questioning, and Adrian is the same. And Adrian wrote, I love the way that we can be extremely silly together, and that she totally gets it. I love that I can be myself, and the more I'm myself and being daft, the more she seems to laugh and love me. I know she feels the same, so comfortable and acts silly with me, and I love that too. I love when Shona's silly. She's very smart, but not scared to be silly. I love when Shona sings when she doesn't think I can hear, like when she sings in another room of our flat. I really like her voice, and I love when she gets carried away with music or song. She thinks I don't like it, but I do. I also love when she sings songs from musicals in front of me and acts out hand gestures with the song. Acting with the music. She has a natural acting ability and has comedy timing when telling a joke or story. I love it. I love when we're sitting in the cinema and she, out of the blue, just holds my hand at a random time. It's not really because anything romantic is on the screen. It feels like it's just because. It feels great and I really love it. Or the way she grips my hand when scared or worried. I love seeing Shona laugh so much she has tears. She kind of hiccups. And when I make her that happy and laugh so much, I know I've done my job and I'm happy. She is also very beautiful, with a little mole under her left eye, beautiful hair and lovely eyes and smile. I think a round of applause. Beautiful. Both of you took so much time and care to write down what you felt, and it's quite rare to have so much to say, but it's a beautiful thing, and I've been very moved by it myself. Thank you so much. I'd now like to ask Adrian's sister Suzanne to come and present a beautiful reading by the wonderful Catherine Mansfield in honour of the bride and groom. Suzanne, would you like to come and join us? Thank you.
Outside, the sky is light with stars. There's a hollow roaring from the sea, and alas for the little almond flowers, the wind is shaking the almond tree. How little I thought, a year ago, in the horrible cottage upon the lea, that he and I should be sitting so, and sipping a cup of chamomile tea. Light as feathers the witches fly, the horn of the moon is plain to see. By a firefly under a jonquil flower, a goblin toasts a bumblebee. We might be 50, we might be 5, so snug, so compact, so wise are we. Under the kitchen table leg, my knee is pressing against his knee. Our shutters are shut, the fire is low, the tap is dripping peacefully. The saucepan shadows on the wall are black and red and plain to see.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Beautifully read. Rainer Maria Rilke, the Austrian poet and novelist, wrote that a good marriage is one in which each partner appoints the other to be guardian of their solitude, and thus they show each other the greatest possible trust. So bearing in mind those very wise words, we've now come to the point in our ceremony when Shona and Adrian will make legal statements of commitment, and they will exchange vows and wedding rings.
I love you with all my heart, and I promise to be by your side always, and share the joy and laughter as well, as the peace and companionship of being together. I will be there to support you through both the good times and the bad times. I will be your partner, your lover, your best friend, and your soulmate. You are my whole world, and with you I am complete.
I love you with all my heart, and I promise to be by your side always, to share the joy and laughter, as well as the peace and companionship of being together. I will be there to support you through both the good times and the bad times. I will be your partner, your lover, your best friend, and your soulmate. You are my whole world, and with you I am complete.
The wedding rings you will exchange will stand as a symbol of your love for each other, the unbroken circle representing unending love, wholeness and peace. The circle which is also a symbol of the sun, the earth, the changing seasons and the universe as a whole. The rings are your permanent reminder of your love for one another and of the vows you have exchanged today. Shona and Adrian are now going to make their formal legal commitment to each other, and they will then exchange wedding rings. So if Nicola could stand by with the rings, please.
I, Shona Paxton White, accept you, Adrian Feldboylan, in marriage. As this ring surrounds your finger, so my love surrounds you forever and always.
I, Adrian Feldboylan, accept you, Shona Paxton White, in marriage. As this ring surrounds your finger, so my love surrounds you forever and always.
the writer Audrey Wells wrote in her screenplay for the wonderful film Shall We Dance, in a marriage, you're promising to care about everything. The good things, the bad things, the mundane things, all of it, all of the time, every day. You're saying your life will not go unnoticed because I will notice it. Your life will not go unwitnessed because I am your witness. At this special moment, now that we have witnessed the commitment in marriage that Shona and Adrian have made to each other, having vowed to share their lives together with all of the challenges and joys their future as a married couple will inevitably bring, it is a sincere honour and an absolute delight for me to now declare you married and to pronounce that you, Adrian, and you, Shona, are now husband and wife. Would you like to celebrate your newly married status in the traditional manner? We're now going to be stepping back to sign the marriage schedule with our witnesses, Zoe and Andrew. Many thanks to both of you. Please just sit back and relax, listen to some beautiful music chosen especially for today, and we'll be back with you shortly for the conclusion of our ceremony. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, like a good wine, a great love will deepen and mature with age. Shona and Adrian have privately written love letters to each other, and these are in sealed envelopes. In these letters, they detail why they fell in love and what they truly admire about each other. The letters are now in the box that's sitting on the table there, along with a fine French red wine. Shona and Adrian will then nail the box closed using the hammer given to Adrian by his granddad in recognition of the times they have spent on building projects together. The box will be opened on their 5th anniversary when they'll take time to reflect on the events and emotions of this wonderful day and reminisce about all of the memories they will have made since then, all over a finely aged wine. Before we come to the end of our ceremony, Shona and Adrian have asked that I read an excerpt from a poem called Where We Belong, a duet by Maya Angelou, which sums up how they feel about each other. Then you rose into my life like a promised sunrise, brightening my days with the light in your eyes. I've never been so strong. Now I'm where I belong. On that happy note, we come to the end of the wedding ceremony. Let me thank you once more for being here on this joyous occasion. And can I now ask you, if you're able to please be upstanding for the exit of the bride and groom, our newlyweds, Shona and Adrian.